Ciao Ducatisti, as you can see it's a while since I sent my last video. Today I will show you how I switched my turning signals, the blinkers, to some nicer ones after I gave back the hair to my daughter Charlotte. Thank you Charlotte.
Bye.
And after the intro. Before we go to the garage to replace the turn signals into these blinky blinkers, I let you know what else I changed on my desert sled so far. First of all, I took off these fancy stickers from the swing arm. As you know, I like to go off-road with my Ducati, and sometimes it's inevitable to have some tip overs, so it's always useful to have these foldable wing mirrors like on my KTM. And especially when you pass over in ruts which are quite deep, it's helpful to have a foldable gear change lever, which I bought from the original Ducati shop as well. But attention, the mounting of the Footpegs at the 2015 Scrambler models is not the same as on the Ducati Desert Sled. It is not the same axis, and the spare part that is offered by Ducati does not fit. So all the desert sled riders will have to find a different solution. Apropos Footpegs, I took away these strange rubber pieces which are on the rider foot pegs. Don't know what they are for, don't need them. And to save even more weight, I took away the passenger foot pegs, which is possible at the desert sled. They are steel constructions, and it saved me 1.46 kilograms, which is almost 3.5 pounds. 3.5 pounds are 3.5 pounds. Yeah? But attention when you do the same, because you will have to replace the bolts. The original construction holds the exhaust as well, so you have to replace the bolts on the right side, which are M8 times 35 millimeters, with shorter bolts M8 times 24 millimeters. So what did I buy to make my desert sled look nicer? At my Ducati dealer, I found these original LED turn signals, and for the front side I'd like to have some bar end turning signals from Moto Gadget. It's a matter of retro design. In the 80s my Enduros had these bar end turning signals long time ago. Now let's see them in action. I have a battery here, 12 volt. Cables, minus to minus, plus to plus, of course. So, 3, 2, 1. Isn't that nice? They have an orientation. When mounting it, take care of that. So, isn't that nice? Blinky, blinky, blinky. So, let's see how it works out in the garage. Bye! Let's start with the rear signals. Some people want to save time and just cut off the cable near the signal and crimp the new one on. I don't like that, so I disassembled everything as I explain to you now. Take off the upper mudguard first. By the way, the desert sled has a rear shock with a separate expansion chamber. This has to come off next. Then you can take off the lower mudguard. And now you can take off the left and right side panels. Now you have access to the bolts of the right fender and you may take it off. Take care of the wire routing and remember the location of the zip ties. The rear signals are OEM parts, so cable length and connectors fit perfectly. You may use these spaces depending on your traffic regulations. Check its function. The old signals I could sell at eBay, perhaps not this one. The front signals are much more challenging. I used the following tools: Allen wrench of 4 and 5 millimeters, a T30 Torx, a drill 3 or 4 millimeters, a wire cutter, crimping pliers, garden wire and a flexible gripper. As I do not like to cut off the cables of the OEM wire harness, I bought these adapter cables. The cable connectors of the turning signals are underneath the fuel tank. Take off all the bolts and lift up the fuel tank as much as possible. It's fiddly work. Now it's time to remove the handlebar and all of its attachments. Drill a hole of at least 3 millimeters at the center bottom and put back the handlebar and all the attachments. By the way, the m.blaze disc blinker is delivered with different rubber parts. Depending on your handlebar diameter, you have to pre-assemble the indicator. And the indicators are specific from left to right. Now you can guide the cable through the handlebar. I used the garden wire to pull the cable from the outer end. To get the wire from the middle to the outer end, I used that flexible gripper. You see this one? It always reminds me of the movie Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger. You remember that nose job? Very useful item. Now you can connect the cable with the wire and you can pull it back. Attention, the cable is rather thin. Now you can take off the original turning signals, pass the cable to the connectors and put back together everything. Check if it works. To fit the turning signal to the handlebar, you have to slightly tighten the hexagon nut. There must be some rubber to tube contact when you push it into the handlebar. Then turn manually the turn indicator clockwise. Tighten it until the logo appears on the top. And now let's have a look at the outside. What it looks like. Here we see it in daylight and here it's from dusk till dawn. I hope you enjoyed my video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.